we're going to have Jackie talk to us about grazing for values.
I'll be really quick
Very
because this is it's more of a warm, fuzzy, self-reflection exercise. But no matter how you're involved with grazing or agriculture, or maybe even none of those things, maybe you're working with an NGO or a governmental organization, understanding knowing your own core values is going to be helpful in decision making with your personal life, professional life, and then combining your values, your family values, your individual values, when you're thinking about doing business, such as a ranch, that dictates your business values. And so when we're thinking about leasing or making great agreements between a lease player, what we say, understanding your own values and then that business partner's values can help avoid a lot of conflict. And so one of the pieces of paper that is available for everyone to pick up on the way in is the core values exercise. This is actually borrowed from a succession planning or estate planning workshop in Wisconsin, but I think it's relevant even in this situation because in estate planning, you're anticipating handing some business decisions and property information on to the next generation. With leasing, if you're a landowner, you're basically handing a lot of that care and maintenance of the property to them, say, depending on that contract. So, I highly encourage everybody, when you go home tonight, I'll briefly touch on how this exercise works because I want us to get back to the content of the evening. There's a really long list of words on the front page, and the best way to work through this is to narrow it down. So I suggest you circle 10 words that appeal to you, that align with your values. And values, if that word is too airy or warm, fuzzy, think about just dividing them both, how to make decisions. And so first, try to narrow it down to 10 words. Circle 10 words that describe how you move about the world. Then you're going to try to narrow it down by process of elimination, maybe 3 words. Once you have those 3 words, and I know for myself, examples of those words are autonomy, learning, and family. Those are my core values. Next step, those core values, you'd actually make it applicable in the real world. So for example, if one of my core values is learning, an outcome statement for that, for me, is I want to be a well-rounded person and I can have a conversation with anybody. That is the goal of that learning value. That is the ideal for me, being able to talk to anybody in a room and hear your conversation because I know a little bit about what they're talking about. First, list that core value word. Second, list that outcome statement. What is the ideal? How is this value equip you to live your life? And then you can list specific behaviors that demonstrate that core value. For example, learning is my core value. My outcome statement is I would like to be a well-rounded person able to communicate with anyone. And some behaviors, get a career in extension, attend classes, get a grad degree. All these things, all these behaviors are things that really speak to the way that I live my life in pursuit of this core value. And some of this list by no means is exhaustive, especially if you're considering land values. Other words you might list on here that maybe aren't already listed, sustainability, pollinator health, you can get really specific. So you can say for my property, the core value would be productivity, right? I want as much biomass as possible. That could be one. And so once you kind of have 3 guiding principles lined out, makes it easier for you as a potential somebody looking for land to lease to almost brag about yourself and how strong you are in your values, you're advertising to that potential landowner. And then if you're the landowner, that helps you narrow down, this is who I like to lease my land because our values align. Does that make a little bit of sense? I wish we could go through the full activity, but I do want to get back to the meat and potatoes of today. And I think this is just useful because we hear values all the time. It's a buzzword, but literally do we get the opportunity to put pen to paper. So thank you. Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah, I
So-
think you live up to your values.
Oh, yeah.
But no idea that you would come to a workshop and have homework. Yeah,
Yeah.
no extension.